In a greenhouse around the corner, finding energy solutions. Just around the corner is where it's all happening. In a greenhouse around the corner, finding energy solutions. Just around the corner is where it's all happening.
Hello, I'm your host, Tricia Ziemer. Welcome to a greenhouse around the corner. We've been travelling Australia looking for energy-saving community centres. We've travelled to Pomona, Queensland, and we are visiting the Pomono Community Centre. This Queenslander was built in the 1920s as the station master's home and has recently been renovated to become the local community centre. With the help of volunteers, local council and grants, not only have they been able to retrofit their Queenslander, but they have been able to create and build a new facility that's an extension of this house that incorporates many energy-saving features. Join me as we visit this sustainable centre.
Pomono Community House was formed 17 years ago to provide a facility for the community to use for different activities and so on. Pomona's population has grown quite drastically, and between this 2001-2006 census, the population grew by 150%. So it's a huge influx of people. All of those people coming into town needed facilities and activities and so on. So we decided that we needed an extra building to cater for the larger groups. Some groups are up to 20, 30 people. So we looked at building a new building. We went through all of the throes of trying to get funding, and after 7 years we finally decided we had $129,000 from the local government and $20,000 from the state government. So $149,000. We decided to find something that we could build with that amount of money. I came up with a steel frame kit home as an idea, which was a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom kit home, which I adapted to our needs. And because of the limited amount of funding, we then went to ask the community for a bit of help, and we're inundated with Office of Trades help, and we had 2 painters, 2 plumbers, electrician, concreters, chippies, the whole kit and caboodle, all donating their time, which in turn saved us a lot of money in labour. In the end, we put that money back into the building so that we end up with a facility that has a almost commercial kitchen, good flooring, a perfectly comfortable building which can accommodate up to 60 people in a meeting type setup. So it's become a work of love for the community. The community is definitely a community building because it was built by the community. So they have ownership of that building. Being a non-profit organisation, we relied on the income from activities, and we get a small grant from the state government. But generally, we have to raise our own money. And to do that, we looked at providing cost-saving measures, such as providing a solar system, which feeds the 2 buildings actually. The installation of skylights, again reducing electricity costs. And all of these things in the end put money back into activities, which is the sole reason we're here. And we're very proud that we can continue this work. Okay, the building is incorporating a number of features that reduce the amount of greenhouse emissions and also reduces the costs. Trish, the Pomono Community House is built as an old Queenslander style building. It's from the 1930s. It was a station master's residence here in Pomona. And because of the nature of the building, the type of building it is, it's very dark on the internal rooms. As you can see, we've installed skylights throughout the building. This reduces the amount of electricity costs and also increases the amount of lights within the building. It also reduces the carbon dioxide emissions, so we're doing our little bit for the environment. The type of skylights that we've installed here, as you can see, are extremely bright, and they are a lot brighter than the standard skylight because they accentuate the light that's coming through the roof. It has a diffuser on top that distributes the light throughout the tube that comes down, and it bounces around inside the tube, comes down to the diffuser that's on the ceiling here, and that then diffuses the light through the room. This is the monitor for the solar system that we have installed, which supplies power to this building and the new building. This tells us exactly what the system is up to. At the moment we're generating 4 kilowatt hours at the moment, and we've also generated 9.2 kilowatt hours today. Total since we installed it last year in October is 8,832 kilowatt hours. We can also tell the amount of carbon emissions that we've saved, and in that time we've saved 6.6 tonne of carbon in that time. It's also reduced our cost, which is a major factor as far as we're concerned. The electricity account is approximately 1/3 of what it was before we put the system on. Now, all of these things were gradually included into the design of Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4, and up to Mark 47, I think, which in the end was the building that we finally decided was going to be the one. We're now down at the Lawson Shed. This building was purpose-built as an extension to the community house because of the need for extra space for our activities. As you can see, we've installed a 5 kilowatt solar power system, skylights on the roof here which give us natural light within the building, and on the top there we've got the whirlybirds which reduce the amount of heat in the roof space, which in turn reduces the heat inside the building. It's a much better system. The external of the building and the internal walls are all insulated for both temperature and for sounds. This unit here is a heat pump, which is a hot water system which draws the heat from the atmosphere. Runs through similar to a refrigerator, only in reverse. The air is pumped in through here. The heat is then transferred through to the hot water system here, and then we end up with nice hot water inside. This is much the same as a solar hot water system, very similar in cost, but a fabulous system. And in Queensland, with the temperatures that we have here, there's no problems with the amount of heat. Above us here we've got an awning which we've put in to reduce the amount of heat getting into the kitchen. Over here we have a 5,000 gallon water tank which is connected to the 2 external taps, and it also feeds the toilets in the building. In the end, we end up with a large 147 square metre building which incorporates 2 large activity areas, a good sized kitchen, a counselling room and storeroom.
One of the first places to look when you're trying to cut down your energy usage is up. Lighting can make up as much as 40% of your total power bill. So let's take a look at what we can do to keep that down. There are things you can do without spending $1. First, make sure people switch the lights off when they're not using a room. Think about how many lights you actually need in a room. Take out a few bulbs if you can, or tape over unnecessary light switches. Open the blinds too, and think about cutting back any plants that might be blocking natural light. Incandescent lights are now banned, so if you're still using light bulbs like these, replace them with compact fluorescents, or better still, super efficient and long-lasting LEDs like these. CFLs are cheaper and they'll pay for themselves more quickly, but the LEDs will save you more in the long run because they last for up to 10 years. Auto sensors are easy to install and great for things like outdoor lights and bathrooms that don't always need to be on. And if you've got a bit of a budget, the Rolls-Royce of energy-saving lighting is the Skylight, a reflective solar tube. You'll be amazed how much a good skylight can brighten up a room. And the top of the range models even come with solar-powered LEDs. That means they keep shining without using mains power long after the sun goes down. Room lighting offers heaps of opportunities to tune up your energy efficiency. Head to the Greenhouse Around the Corner website for more details.